Hey, so before I begin, a quick shout out to Mia Hum Chase. My last video, she said that it helped her a lot, and which helps me a lot because the last video about anxiety, I didn't know where to go with that. I did the best I can, and positive feedback. Basically, her saying it helped her, it helped me. So I was very iffy about releasing that, but it was requested. So thank you. Go Hamche. So, free spirit power, right? Immaturity rules in more ways than one. All right. This whole thing about our age, okay, it's just a number. All it is the years we spent on this planet. That's all it is. But it's they. I feel they put it on us um, as another illusion to help limit what you can and cannot do. Perfect example, like I'm in my late 30s and I still watch anime. You know, you know, it, society standards. There's people older that still watch anime. Um, One of my supervisor at work, she says that she's even past that, and she says when her kids were teenagers, she used to watch Dragon Ball Z with them because Dragon Ball Z was that damn popular of an anime. It still is the best anime on the planet today. And she said, she used to watch it with them. All right. First, anime's not kid stuff, anyways, but you see what I'm going. Society standards is, oh, you're this age, you're not supposed to be doing that. You know, this is another fuck you to society video. All right. Free spirit power. Do what you want to do. Okay. And immaturity rules because think back when you were a child. You didn't have any money, but when you wanted something, especially for Christmas, you didn't know how, you didn't know when, well, sort of when, birthday or Christmas, but when you wanted something, you knew you were going to get it. You didn't have a job, you were too young, but you naturally imagined having it. Eventually you got it. There was no limitations. There was no logic. Okay? Same thing. When you're a child, you had this huge, vast imagination. And it worked wonders for you. If you were lonely, okay? Had, you know, got tired of the video games you were playing, There's a problem with me with being an older, well, I have an older sister, but she was already out the house by the time I was coming up. She was 13 years older than me. Okay, so I grew up as an only child. Okay, I had a dog, Tasha. Um, but I had to use my imagination in order to, when I go play outside, because I was bored playing the same video games, just go in the backyard. I was Sonic, Tasha was Tails, she was a dog, Fox Tails, and she had a white spot in her stomach just like Tails did, ironically enough, but, out of anything that helped me be a fast runner because, Sonic's supposed to be faster than Tails, so eventually, I imagined myself being faster than my dog, and eventually I was able to outrun my dog. Okay, am a very fast runner. Okay, but having an imagination, I believe, help that. You have to imagine yourself getting your goals. But what happens is when you grow up, you start to lose that imagination. Society starts to hound on you to be this, be that. You start to lose your imagination. You know, they want you to not be more childlike, but being childlike is works wonders for imagination. It works wonders for a lot of attraction, and it works wonders for clairvoyance. One of the building blocks to clairvoyance is imagination. I'm very clairvoyant. Okay, I always, no matter what, got called immature. Even to the point where if I had to handle a situation, when I handled it, I was being immature. When I chose to ignore it, being immature. So, but ironically enough, when I said, you know what, I don't give a shit, and sorry, thought I saw something. I said, I don't care. You know what? From this way, I accept myself being this way. Maybe I have Peter Pan syndrome, you know, but I'm not hurting anybody doing it. Okay, I'm doing my thing. They're attacking me for being who I am, and lots of times, you know, if you see my other videos, people do that when they don't have the courage or they're jealous that they can't be the same way. Okay, and a lot of people also that were calling me immature were immature themselves, because when they didn't get the way, they would start pouting and crying. You know, one friend had to do a paper route and chose not to do it, and his mom hammered at him, and he started crying right in front of me. And this kid called me immature when he got mad at me for something, and it's like, you know, it's sometimes it's people projecting their own faults onto you. All right. Sometimes immaturity is just a matter of opinion. Like I said, I handled the situation. I was being immature. If I chose to ignore it, then I'm being immature. But I've seen people do the same thing, and they don't get called that, or they get appraised, you know, or something. It's the most ridiculous thing. But until I said it and I don't give a shit, it stops. Matter of fact, age is just a number. Okay? You cannot act a number. You can't act a color. You can't act a number. So last person that called me that was 2 years ago. I said, hey, go ahead with that. I accept myself. You know, I don't care about that. You cannot act. You can't act a number. So it's almost impossible to be immature. And then they were like, oh my God, they didn't know what to say to that. You know, so it's another way of being free. Being free of people's judgments. Okay? Because in the end, if a person is that much of a negative asshole, you change yourself, they'll find something else to hound you about. They'll find something else to judge you about. Some people just look for ways to have a problem with somebody for whatever reason. Normally it's jealousy. And normally it's lack of courage that they don't have inside themselves, so they attack someone that does. Okay? You want to know a good example of this? Where are my fans of the 80s? Madonna, okay? She's past 60, but she still got it. She still looks good, in my opinion. Okay, a lot of people, she's not pretty, she's old. But again, I just, right to my point. Okay, those same people are attacking her because she's living life the way she wants to live it, despite her age. All right, she still got it, so she's still dancing, she's still jumping. There was a YouTube video where she was, jumping doing the fist pump, and people were like, "Oh yeah, his grandmother, um, you know, jumping up and down like she's in her 20s." Like, but I bet you, bucks of dimes, that that person that was commenting on that didn't feel good about themselves. That's another reason they don't feel good about themselves, so they attack someone else that's happy, that might be a certain age and you know still doing their thing, and they can't do that. They don't have the courage to do that. Okay. Immaturity rules. Another example is, I hate to use this as an example, but I mentioned Peter Pan syndrome. I might have it. Michael Jackson had it. You know, um, he had his childhood taken away from him by his father, Illuminati. But you know, but when he was an adult, he lived life the way he wanted to do, wanted to live it. He got himself a monkey. He took pictures of himself with this picture of him with teddy bears, and you know him in the middle. He did what he wanted to do. Okay, but the thing is, it shouldn't be just celebrities willing to do that. You should have the courage to do it yourself. It doesn't take money or fame to be what you want to be, right? Don't use the celebrities as, an influence. Yeah, definitely. I'm not saying that, but just because you're not a celebrity doesn't mean you can't live life the way you want. Don't let nothing stop you. Okay? If it makes you happy and it's not hurting anybody else, go ahead and do it. Alright? Another way immaturity rules is immaturity brings fun. Lots of fun. To the point where it causes people to have a good time. Okay? Those that hang out with me know I'm all about having a good time. I want to say my life's purpose is to have fun. In martial arts, don't get me wrong, but I just want to have fun, and I want everyone else around me to have fun. No agendas, not trying to hurt anybody. Like I've been saying before, throughout this video. When I believe the elites use age to further control you. Got a bump in my nose. To further control you, and not just with acting your age, but to the music you listen to. Okay, remember, in my past videos, and people that know me know, I love the 80s. Before I loved the 80s, I loved the 70s. Okay, got it all throughout my childhood, not just being a black person listening to rock, but being a kid growing up in the 90s listening to the 70s and 80s. I loved disco. I loved, the next year I started loving what I've been known to be new wave. I didn't know it was called new wave until I started listening to Duran Duran. But, my first 80s band was Boy Georgia Culture Club, okay? Got it all the time. Why do you listen to this crap? This is old. Why do you listen to this? This is before your time. Listen, time does not mean that this music is not still good. Okay? And some of the same people that were telling me this when we were growing up are now listening to the 80s themselves. So I might have started a spark, or maybe they're just following along with society, because that's like the only thing that I agree with society is, society's all the 80s, the 80s, the 80s, that's the only thing I agree with society, that, me and society has that one agreement that the 80s rocked. But did I listen to it because everyone else listened to it? No, I listened to it because I truly liked the music. Okay? All my hip hopper friends, all my preppy friends I was hanging with, never understood it. But that's okay. Because it's not for them to understand, it's me that's listening to it. Okay? And that music helped me. I'm an athlete. Now, my main thing is martial arts, but I play other people's sports and beat them at it. Okay? I played soccer with some of my friends. I didn't grow up playing soccer, but I would come out beating them. Played basketball. I didn't grow up playing basketball. I was never in a basketball team, was never in a soccer team, but I just used my athleticism, and I would beat them in their own game. And I contribute a lot of that from daring to be different and listening to other styles of music. It wasn't just the 80s, it was also techno and trance. Music that was energetic, Energetic person needs energetic music, right? So this is another, just dare to be different. Have fun with life. No matter what your age. All right? My mom used to tell me the coworkers used to ask her, Julia, you dance? Yeah, as long as I can get up and dance, I'll dance. All right? Again, people think once you get a certain age, you can't do this stuff. She didn't dance nasty, or anything. I'm half Latino, I'm half Colombian, so she's a Latina. She's from Colombia, but she got up there when music was playing and danced. Age is just a number. It really is. All right, but they put that on you to help limit you. I tell my friend, stop saying you're old. As soon as he hit 23, he's already saying he's old. Now he's actually looking old because it's in his subconscious that he's old now. Before, when you were kids, you would give a left nut to be in your 20s. Now, when we reach our 20s, we're old now. What? Cut the crap. There are things you can't win with. So just be happy and keep your vibration up. Now his body's responding to him being old, even though he's only in his early 30s, but his body began to react. It's in his subconscious because he said it so many times that he's old. Now he's getting injuries left and right. And I'm older than him, and I'm outperforming him when I'm pushing 40. All right, why is that? Because I still tell myself I'm physically 21 years old. I write it in my gratitude journal that I was talking about in one of my high vibration videos. I write down, I'm grateful that my body is still 21 years old. Okay, I'm still able to run faster than people younger than me. I have not lost a race since elementary school. All right, I'm still doing backflips. I'm still doing front flips. I'm still doing everything I was able to do in my teenage years. They put age, to help limit you. I keep saying the same things, but it's really true. I have another friend who actually is over 40. All right, and he's saying he wants to be a bodybuilder. And he's saying, is it too late? No. There's people that are bodybuilders that they started when they were 50. All right? Right now, society makes a big deal of 40 years old, Everyone that knows me knows that I am a big fan of wrestling and the history of wrestling and catch wrestling, because these Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys always lie and tell you that they created grappling, which is not true. Grappling existed way before Jiu-Jitsu was a thought. Wrestling is the first martial art, period. Okay? And back in the early 1900s, before we had all these multivitamin pills, and you know, the prime was 40, not 30, 40. All right. Now you mean to tell me nowadays? I have research. I have a book all about it. And now you're telling me we advanced in technology, but we went down in performance by age. No, because they probably implemented into people's heads that 40 is old. So now it's in their subconscious. Now they're reacting to it. Your body's reacting to it because it's in their subconscious. When it's in their subconscious, it's all she wrote. That's another reason how the law of attraction works. You leave it in the subconscious. The subconscious mind doesn't miss what the conscious mind might miss. Okay? It's never too late to have fun. It's never too late to do what you want to do. You're over 40, you still are athletic, you want to go run Tough Mudder, the whatchamacallit, the warrior race, do it. Do it. I have another story. Someone said to his friend that went to do Tough Mudder, oh, you're 40 years old, you have to prove. Don't listen to people like that. Age is truly just a number. But they use the bracket of maturity and immaturity to help limit you, to stop you to see what you can really do despite being up there in age. Plain and simple, the more you get away from society, of its teachings and social conditioning, the better. Enough said. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys. See you next year. Happy New Year. I might make another video by then, but just in case. Happy New Year. Peace.